Hi, I'm making this video in response to Joshua Robertson's blanket tag for the A Writer's Life for Me tag, and I'll put a link to his video down below as well as the 10 questions because I am also making a blanket tag. So if any writers see this and they want to participate, all you have to do is just answer the 10 questions below and make a YouTube video. Okay, so let's get started. Question number 1. What kind of writer are you? I write fantasy fiction, mostly novels, though I have dabbled in short stories and poems, though I don't do that much these days. Question number 2. When did you start writing? I started writing when I was 9 years old, and there's kind of a little story to go with that. And when I was in school, the teacher would give us so many minutes to finish our assignments, and if we finished them early, then we could sit quietly at our desks and do something else. So I would always read. I was a big reader, but one day I finished my book and I didn't have another one, so I just took out my notebook and I started writing down a daydream of mine, and I've been writing ever since. Question number 3. What inspires your stories? This is always a really hard question for me to answer because inspiration can come from anywhere. Sometimes it comes from nowhere. I've been inspired by dreams. I've been inspired by song lyrics, clouds, just random things I see going down the road. Sometimes the ideas come from nowhere at all, so I have a lot of trouble answering this in any sensible kind of way because I just don't know. It's weird. Question number 4. What themes do you like to explore in your writing? A lot of my books deal with the struggle of good versus evil. I think that's probably true in a lot of fantasy books. But mostly I'm all about the characters and their interpersonal relationships and what's going on inside their heads and the things they have to go through and overcome in order to complete their journey. Question number 5. Are you a pantser or a plotter or a bit of both? I am a pantser all the way. I tried plotting and it just doesn't work for me. The only way that I can write is to just sit down and just write whatever falls out of my head. It makes for a messy first draft, but it's what works for me. Question number 6. Where are you at in your journey? I am a published author. I have 28 books out so far. Some were traditionally published and some were self-published. Question number 7. Have you ever entered any writing contests? When I was a teenager, yes, mostly a few poetry contests, but nothing that was really any kind of a big deal or anything like that. And I didn't win any of them. Question number 8. Who are your writer heroes? Stephen King. I love Stephen King. I have loved Stephen King since I was 12 years old. His writing is so fearless. It's like he's not afraid to go wherever the story needs to go in order to get where it's going, if that makes any sense at all. But I strive for that fearlessness myself, and it's not always easy. But the more books I write, the easier it gets to not be constrained by the fears of, like, oh my gosh, what are people going to think of that? And to just write what needs to be written in order to tell the story that I am trying to tell. Margaret Weiss, I hope I pronounced her name right, and Tracy Hickman, who of course wrote the Dragonlance books, or were part of writing the Dragonlance books. Those books have had a major influence on my writing career. Before I read them, I was already a writer. I already loved to write fantasy books, but reading those stories just changed the way that I approach writing, just the way I tell stories and the way I think about them. And if you've ever read the Dragonlance books, particularly the Chronicles trilogy, you can definitely see their influence in my writing, especially when it comes to certain characters. I just love the characters in those books, and I just think they're really great books. And I try really hard not to necessarily emulate their writing style, but to just write a really good story the way that those books are a really good story. Question 9. Have you been to a writing conference? Once, I want to say maybe 10 years ago, I went to one at a local college. It was okay, it was kind of interesting, but I really didn't take a lot away from it, and I haven't been to one since. Question 10. Top 3 tips you'd give to newbie writers. Tip number 1. Please, for the love of your book and for your future readers, please have someone else besides you read your book before you publish it. If you can hire a professional editor, that is fantastic. If you can't afford one, at least find somebody you trust, somebody who has a good eye and will be honest with you to proofread your book for you before you put it out there. Don't just write something and then throw it at Amazon. You know, take more pride in yourself and your work than that. Tip number 2, don't chase trends. I know it can be really tempting, and I know that I myself have had people say, well, zombie books are really popular right now. Well, vampire books are really popular right now. Why don't you write a book like Twilight? Why don't you write a book like Ya Ya Ya? Well, I don't have those books in my head. For one thing, those aren't the books I like to read, and I just don't want to, so I don't. So that's what you should do. Write what's in your heart. Write what you want to write. Tip number 3, don't give up. Believe me, I've been on this writing journey for a long time, and I know it gets really hard. You get frustrated. It feels hopeless. You feel like you're doomed to fail. Just, if you want to write, just keep writing. You can do this thing. You know, I did it. I felt that way. There were lots of times I wanted to give up, but I never did, and now here I am, and I'm very happy that I have continued on this writing journey because I just love to write books. So that's all 10 questions. Thanks for listening, and I hope I didn't bore you guys too much. Bye!